Since the real host denied my Tucson Tuesday pitch, let's go ahead and do a Roadrunners Friday. Hit it.
You're Locked On Coyotes, your daily podcast on the Arizona Coyotes, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Welcome to the show, everybody. This is Locked On Coyotes, #1 daily podcast on the Arizona Coyotes. I'm your host, Robyn Leonio, alongside Matthew Jacobson. We want to thank everyone for making this show your first listen every day. We are free and available everywhere you get your podcasts, including on YouTube, the Sirius XM radio app, and ad-free on Amazon Music. We got a great show in today's episode. It's a Roadrunner Friday. Just to be fair, Matthew, I never turned down Tucson Tuesday.
Don't lie to the audience. I sat here pouring my heart out to you for a solid 15 minutes about how Tucson Tuesday would work. We can put it on hats and shirts and whatnot. And you said, and I quote, "Forks down." We're doing Roadrunners Friday.
I plead the fifth.
Anyway,
let's get to Roadrunner Friday, though. Tucson Roadrunners coming, and they're finally opening their regular season this. They're already opened the regular season, but they're open at home finally on Saturday after winning their first two games over in Cedar Park, Texas. They're gonna be hosting the Coachella Valley Firebirds on Saturday, but let's talk a little about Tucson and so far what they've done this week and the last weekend before we get to this weekend.
I'm just confused by how many home games they get to end the month. Anyway, the first game was on Friday the 13th. That day where, side note, I'm going to soapbox for a minute. The Coyotes won, the Roadrunners won, ASU NCAA won, the D1 men's club team won, and the D1 women's club team all won. It was a day for Arizona hockey victories. So Friday the 13th was very spooky indeed. But the scoring gets kicked off at the 4-minute, 17-second mark with Jan Yannick at this really weird angle. I guess it's going to be his new trademark. But Jan Yannick, that is how you come back from a contract spat. You put your head down. He didn't really say much. Yes, he did say he was glad to be back with the Coyotes when he was doing the walking and talking with Petey. But obviously they have to say that, so I don't want to take too much and look too deep into it. But coming in, first goal of the season, it's a pretty impressive goal. I think that's a good way to come back from that weird offseason.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's the only that's the only thing that we can hope for, right? We can only hope that doesn't leave any baggage with him coming into the season, and he just comes out and plays great. Shows that he belongs.
Yeah. And then we get Kyle McDonald scoring with about 3 minutes to go to tie it up. Then at the 12-minute, 27-second mark of the second period on the power play, won Joshua Doan, his first goal of the season from Jan Yannick and John Leonard. Then it's tied right back up by Stankoven at 17:20, also on the power play. Before we go to the third period, 11:05, Milos Kellerman, his first from Aku Ratu and Ryan McGregor. 3-2 finish. And a name that I didn't see getting enough praise, Matt Villalta. Solid game, 25 saves, 2 goals against. I think that their goaltending, the starting goaltender is fine down there in Tucson. Get another backup. Get someone else, else in the system.
Oh, absolutely. It's interesting too because it's not like it took me until just now to remember this, but because when you told me about Villalta, it reminded me again when the games were going through that Villalta was in there. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. Prosey's gone. But
you didn't have to say that. You didn't have to say that to me out loud.
You know what? I did.
What a jerk. This is why nobody watches Locked On. Robyn just makes snide comments. I regret nothing. You guys got to remember the reason I was brought in. I'm just here to stir the pot.
All right. Anyways, I was impressed with the first couple games. And that's what you can that's what you can hope for. Starting off 2-0 is, I think, is an ideal start for a team in which I thought, for a year in which I thought was a pretty crucial year for the Tucson Roadrunners in terms of.
I think you got a little ahead of us. We didn't talk about the second game yet.
I know.
Uh-huh.
But I'm just saying in general, they started out, they got out those 2 wins. But we can get to that second game if you want, or if you have anything else to talk about this first one.
Nope. I want to squeeze the second one in for the ad breaks. Dylan Gunther starts off the score. There's exactly 3 goals in this game, 1 per period. Dylan Gunther at 10:32. It was a solid goal. All right. The highlight, phenomenal goal for Dylan Gunther on this one. The assist going to Zach Sanford and Jan Yannick. So Yannick definitely putting it on the scoreboard there. At the 18-minute, 10-second mark, Maximilian Zuba, weird angle shot, ends up sneaking past the goaltender Gunner, and Kirkland getting the assists. And then Stankoven scores in the third period. No one cares. Matt Villalta is the first star of that game, however. 35 saves. It kind of feels classic. I do vaguely remember a trend when I was taking notes for Tucson last season, where if they played really well in game 1, game 2 would have more shots against, and they either lose it or it would be a much closer game than it should have been. I do remember vaguely that being a trend. A little more consistent. Matt Villalta stood tall, so I'm not a big Kings or Reign fan, but I think it's definitely nice to have him here right now.
Oh, absolutely, and I think that's one of the nice things that we've always talked about when it comes to the Coyotes in their prospect pool, or just their goaltending prospect pool, is you can always feel somewhat comfortable with who's down there, because they've filled the pipeline with goalies, and not only that, is they're doing a good job at developing them, or either that or just doing a good job at just coaching them.
Yeah, and makes me sad that Ivan Prosvetov is no longer with us.
Maybe he will return.
Hopefully. But I don't see it happening. Apparently, no, it's not Grube. It was Francouz. Apparently, Francouz is going to be out for a while. He's going to miss some time.
So, I mean, it's good. I mean, good that he gets the opportunity in another team. So, but yeah. I mean, especially as we mentioned, where the Coyotes are just so deep right now, where it's just like in terms of goaltending, where it's like, where do you fit it all?
Tucson.
Exactly.
That's really it.
But the thing is, as we talk about, like, hey, Anson Thornton ain't gonna be there, but where are we gonna go? Like, who's gonna be next to him? But
I mean, Thornton could technically. He's still on the season IR. He is eligible.
True. We'll have to find out.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, we're going to continue this episode of Locked On Coyotes. We're going to talk about what's coming up next, and then take just an overall, season overlook, which what's coming up for the Tucson Roadrunners. We'll get to all of that right after this.
This episode is brought to you by Jace Medical. Everyone should be empowered to care for themselves and their loved ones during the unexpected. That's why Jace Medical offers the Jace Case. The Jace Case provides 5 life-saving antibiotics for emergency use and gives you peace of mind so that you're not just hoping you have access to medication in an emergency. Jace Medical makes sure that you have the medication in hand. Jace Medical is simple. They handle everything from online evaluation to licensed pharmacy medication delivery and ongoing consultation and care. Don't get caught unprepared. Get $20 off life-saving antibiotics today with Jace Medical by using my code LOCKEDON at checkout at jasemedical.com. That's JASE medical.com.
And today's episode is also brought to you by Bird Dogs. Are you tired of sacrificing comfort for style when it comes to your activewear? Introducing Bird Dogs, the game-changer in athletic shorts. Picture this: premium shorts designed for maximum performance combined with unparalleled comfort. Bird Dogs are here to revolutionize your workout routine with the unique built-in liner. These shorts offer ultimate support and flexibility, ensuring you stay comfortable even during the most intense workouts. And here's the best part: Bird Dogs are more than just workout gear. They're versatile enough to take you from the gym to the street without skipping a beat. Designed with pockets that actually work, Bird Dogs give you ample space to store your sandals while you're on the move. They're made with premium breathable fabric that keep you cool and dry throughout your activities. Perfect for the trails, the gym, or simply just lounging around. Bird Dogs are the shorts you've been searching for. Order your pair of Bird Dogs and join the thousands of satisfied customers who have made the switch. Visit birddogs.com/LockedOnNHL. Enter the promo code LockedOnNHL and get a free water bottle with every order. Bird Dogs, where style meets comfort, performance meets perfection. You will not want to take these shorts off. We promise you. Thanks again, everyone, for making this show your first listen every day. We're free and available everywhere you get your podcast. As a reminder, you can tune into every Arizona Coyotes game on Sirius XM Radio. All you got to do is just open up the SXM app and search Coyotes. If you're in your car, we provide on X our updates of what channels to listen to and how to get access to it. Once again, that's Arizona Coyotes on Sirius XM. You can also listen to our show on Sirius XM as well. So just be sure to check us out. But let's continue talking about the Tucson Roadrunners, Matthew, because at the time everyone's recording to this, tomorrow they have their home opener. It's tomorrow night. So the Coyotes and excuse me, the Coyotes and the Roadrunners have their home openers on the same day. The Coyotes have a matinee home opener at 1 p.m. The Tucson Roadrunners have a night home opener at 7 p.m. I don't know how many people are going to try to make the trip to literally go to both. That's a hard thing to do. But if you do, I salute you.
I'm going to be going to 2 hockey games that day, and that's working the Coyotes and Sun Devils hockey games. But yeah, anyway, Tucson, Coachella Valley Firebirds, it's only 1 game. This is one of the things that always confused me. So the AHL schedule is very similar to the NCAA's, where you typically play 2-game sets on Friday and Saturday. I know this year you're going to have a couple of Friday and Sunday games for the Arizona State Sun Devils. But right here, it's 1 game against Coachella Valley. Then for a rare Tuesday game, they're hosting San Diego, and then it's back-to-back against Bakersfield, back-to-back against Chicago. So it's kind of a weird schedule coming up. It's different, but the AHL also does tend to have a couple of midweek games. I'm just not used to the Tucson Roadrunners getting them because normally they are stuck on the weekends.
Oh, I remember. I know. I've gone to plenty of games that are Tuesday or Wednesday, and it feels weird because a lot of those games that I went to, they were like, I was still a student at the University of Arizona, and it was I literally like was already, I was like dressed for the press box already while I was at school, and I literally, the moment I got out of class, I booked it from the classroom to my car, drove downtown, and then checked into the arena to cover the game for Five for Howling. It was a fun time. I do miss those times, but I also don't, because that was a stressful time. And be able to manage all of that together on top of other things I had to do as a student. But you're right. It's like, you don't see it very often, especially if you look at it from the grand scheme of things. But 6 home games back to back, essentially. Starting off at Coachella Valley, just a single game against Coachella Valley. It's on Saturday. It's just, again, you're right. It is an interesting one. Coachella Valley, by the way, and we have to talk about it. They are the reigning Western Conference champions, and they went all the way to the final game. In fact, even like really, really gosh darn close to winning the Calder Cup. You can only expect them to be still really good. Coachella Valley has Shane Wright on their team, so like you can't knock them down. You can't knock them out. They're going to be a good team to go against.
But their starting goaltender is also Drieger, who has like a 306 goals against right now, and not ASU alum Joey Decord, who is playing for the Seattle proper team. But let's take a little brief look at the stats for the Roadrunners. If you had to guess, and let's test your memory here, who is the leading scorer for the Roadrunners without looking?
Currently, or
Yes,
is it
currently
like
right now.
this season?
Yes.
Points. Oh God.
Nobody has more than one goal, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players have scored one goal so far.
I know 5 years. I'm trying to think based off points. Why am I blanking on their name? I know this one.
Come on. It's not Josh Doan.
It's not
not
Josh.
Max Zuber.
I mean, you mentioned Yannick's name.
Is that your answer?
Sure.
Jan Yannick, 2 games, 1 goal, 2 assists, 3 points. He's at a 1.5 points per game. He has 5 shots so far in the season, followed by Dylan Gunther, who has 1 goal and 1 assist in 2 games. He was scoreless in the first game. Second game, those 2 points helped him become a point per game player. He also has 5 shots, so Gunther's also shooting, followed by technically a 3-way tie between Joshua Doan, Milos Kellerman, and Maximilian Zuber. 1 goal each in 2 games. And then just to round things off, just kind of a little bit of housekeeping here. The Costco man, John Leonard, Ryan McGregor, Aku Ratu, and Zach Sanford, each with 1 assist.
So a lot of spreading the love in just 2 games.
Mm-hmm. Notable without points, Victor Soderstrom. I want this kid's offense back.
It's interesting because Soderstrom in Tucson always frustrates me. I don't know why. It just does. I just need to see him improve.
And the thing is, when it comes to moving the puck, he has. It's just I want to see him scoring at a high clip in Tucson, so that way I know some of it will likely translate to the NHL level. One notable name not on here, Colin Tyson. I don't think he's played a single game yet. And 2 players that have each played 1 game, so they essentially swapped out for one another, Nate Smith and Cameron Hebig. So if Nate Smith is missing a game being replaced by career AHLer Cameron Hebig, I'm a little concerned with Nate Smith. But then again, with Nate Smith, I kind of wrote him off last year when he didn't crack the roster and then never really looked like he was going to make a threat at it again.
That's fair. I'm trying to take a look. There really isn't, because I'm trying to draw the comparison even more between the Roadrunners and Coachella Valley. Coachella Valley's only played 1 game this season, at the time of this recording, and it was a 3-2 loss to the Bakersfield Condors on Friday the 13th. So I'm not sure how much I can mention this. I think especially since Shane Wright was reassigned after that game from Seattle. Not to say Shane Wright is the end all for that team, but
I'm trying to find the most expensive ticket here. I want glass seats.
Ticket?
Yeah, I want glass seats. Let's see. $79 dues.
That's not bad.
It's not for glass seats? Yeah, no, it's not. It's not bad at all. I think you need to buy 2 seats though. Yep, you have to buy 2 tickets. So $158 dues. I'm sorry. How much of that is in fees? I'm taking this to checkout. I want to see how much the fees are.
See, I enjoy going, glass seats are cool, but press box seats.
All sales final, no refunds, $187.90. There's an order processing fee, There's 2 facility fees and 2 service fees. That's why I hate going to live events.
Hey, that's why we go to. That's why I always go to Game Time, by the way, because you know how it all be. I'm not gonna get into it because that's for another time. But
let's get into the last ad break, and then we will.
we'll get
the final thoughts.
we'll get to our final thoughts right after this. If I can get, there we go. And today's episode is brought to you by Sleeper. If you want to win 100 times your money, play daily fantasy hockey on the Sleeper app. There are all possible scenarios for this season, but to have a chance at win big, you need daily fantasy hockey on Sleeper. It's the official daily fantasy app of the Locked On NHL Network. Sleeper is our top choice for daily fantasy sports, especially daily fantasy hockey. With Sleeper, you can win 100 times your cash in daily fantasy hockey contests. You can pick your players to take this week and win 100 times your money. You can do it with your friends, or you can do it with just yourself. And once again, you can pick a lot of different sports, not just hockey. You can do the NFL, the MLB, the NBA, college football if you'd like. And all you got to do is just pick players you want. Let's say for the Coyotes' sake, you're going to pick on Clayton Keller. And all you need to do is pick on their stats, more or less, for the Stars, and look at their goals, their assists, their plus minus, anything more, anything others. And once again, Coyotes fans, 100 times payout on Sleeper. Start paying attention and get your picks right so you can win big. Once again, use the promo code LOCKEDONNHL and you get up to $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. That's LOCKEDONNHL. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Let's get to our final thoughts, Matthew. What you got?
Meep.
Meep.
Anyone else find it mildly funny that like the Coyotes affiliate is the Roadrunners? It was always the Coyote versus the Roadrunner.
If you've ever been to a Roadrunners game, at the end of the game, after everyone's starting to file out going home, so as if you actually stuck around for long enough, they do the that's all folks on their Jumbotron.
Yep.
I actually took a picture. What I thought was going to be my final year covering the Roadrunners. I ended up doing 2 more years after that. But what I thought was going to be my final year covering the Roadrunners, I took a picture on the ice and facing, like, with my back facing the Jumbotron, and the media guy, the then media guy, who's, by the way, now the media guy for the Carolina Hurricanes, Walt Ruff. He took a picture for me and perfectly framed it. So over my shoulder, I said, "That's all, folks." So I was able to use that as like my as like a tagline on my Instagram post.
There you go.
But
sorry. I wanted to get back to my joke real quick. The Roadrunners are technically managed more consistently and have had more success in a smaller period of time, and those gosh darn Coyotes keep having boulders fall on their heads.
There we go. I love that.
It's a perfect theme.
Every now and whenever the Coyotes and Roadrunners have like a joint event, let's say it's like the preseason game in Tucson or anything else that have both mascots there, I will literally just joke around and I'm like, "Hey, Howler, are you gonna go chase Dusty?" Or like,
you should do that.
Or
give Howler like a mallet.
or I'll go to Dusty and be like, "Hey, Dusty, pull any pranks on Howler yet?"
Just the fact they haven't done something at center ice where it's like you give him an inflatable mallet and you have Howler go after Dusty and he just keeps falling over himself. Then you give Dusty a big old rock and he just tosses it like inflatable. It's a kid's environment, all right, but a big old inflatable rock just like drops on him. Like, that's comedy. That's funny.
And they got to have the sound effects too.
Yeah, they can play it through the PA system. I'm just saying, I think it's a funny theme. And also, Tucson, I know you're going to rebrand it to the Kachina anyway. We know it's coming. just rebranded the Tucson Kachina. Just fix its soulless eyes. Because I laughed at it the second I saw it years ago. That bird looks like it wants to die. Redo the mask and go to the Kachina look. You know you want to.
Yeah, the Kachina, I really enjoy that purple works so freaking well on those jerseys. It is beautiful. It's so good that when they go back to their like the red and desert sand as like the Coyotes have had to, like I'm like, I get disappointed. Like, nothing wrong with those. I just get disappointed because the Coachella Roadrunners jersey is superior by far.
I don't know if I'll quite go that far, but I do know they clearly want that to be the jersey. Like,
I'm upset that the white Coachella away jersey was only temporary. It was only a 1-year thing. And I was upset about that. But
it's pure incompetence. That is pure incompetence. Look, as much as I'm going to prefer the red jersey to the current home jersey, keep the current home, retire the red jersey, replace it with the Kachina, bring back the white Kachina as your alternate. There you go. You are the Coachella Roadrunners. That's my piece. That's all I got. Go Birds. Meet.
I love that. Any prediction for Coyotes versus... sorry, not Coyotes. Roadrunners versus Firebirds?
13-2.
13-2. Okay.
Josh Doan has 10 goals.
I'm gonna have a realistic one on this one. It's gonna be a 3-2 win.
Yeah, like 3-2, 4-2. It'll be a normal game.
It'll be a fun one too. Hey, the Roadrunners are also having a red carpet, just like the Coyotes are too. And you know you can watch your favorite players. Watch Josh Doan and Dylan Gunther walk the red carpet in Tucson, because if you want to do that, you can, and you get better, cheaper tickets than the Coyotes opener. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So if you want to do it, I recommend it. Fun fact: I'm actually going to be in Tucson this weekend, but I'm actually not going to be at that game. I got other places to be.
Other places to be that aren't a Roadrunners game.
Because believe it or not, Matthew, I got other things in life happening too.
Nah, that's a lot.
You're telling me that all my focus should be is on hockey?
Yeah. What are you, a loser? You're gonna go hang out with friends? Oh, you gotta go sample the club scene? You're gonna go wine tasting? The hell do people do? My entire life is wake up, hockey, blue hedgehogs, trading cards, sleep, repeat.
Honestly, that's fair. That's valid. Anyways, though, that's going to be it for today's episode of the Locked On Coyotes podcast. If you like what you heard, don't forget to leave a review, like, comment, subscribe if you have yet to already. We're available wherever you get your podcasts, including on YouTube and on the Sirius XM radio app. Also, ad-free on Amazon Music. Don't forget to interact with us on social media and Facebook, facebook.com/LockedOnCoyotes, and on X at @LO_Coyotes. I'm personally at Robyn_Leonio. Matt Jacobson is at the AZ Sports Guy. Interact with us, ask a question you might have. We might answer right back or on a future episode of the Locked On Coyotes podcast. Thanks again, everyone, for listening to today's episode. Hope you guys are staying safe out there. Hope you guys are staying healthy. And don't forget to howl on.